All right, this Detroit Lions situation just took another strange turn. Going to need you in the comments on this one. Craig and I read them all. Don't respond to them all. And other people read them too. And just like help learn, educate each other on this. And it's John Morton. Take a look at this article. This was from when he was fired from the Jets. The decision came Monday after Morton clashed with players, head coach, other assistant coaches, according to a source. His inability to establish a run game, a lack of in-game adjustments, and a perception from players that everyone other than wide receiver Robbie Anderson was an afterthought in the game plan. So we know J-Mo's not getting the ball, right? So it's like, that's kind of some. We got some interesting things here because remember, if you go back, so let me just start here. Clashing with players and coaches, he's just got this thing about him, and he talked to the media. And remember, as he's talked to the media over the last few weeks, one of the things I've brought up consistently is the media gives you a layup. Hey, what do you think of the other team? They've got a tough run game or whatever, or run defense, and then you say, yeah, they do. They got to go to players, and he comes in with this little these little zingers of like, yeah, they've never seen a run game like ours. And well, okay, worked out that week, whatever. But he's a little bit of abrasive is John Morton, the offensive coordinator. And I was like, I just don't need that, right? And then this week, he's just kind of got this thing about him when he's up in front of the media. And he says that the communication has been really good. And everybody else, whether it's Dan Campbell, players saying, you know what, communication's not good. We got to be better on the offensive line. Our communication. He says the communication's good. So there's this who's what are we talking about? Who's saying what? And there seems to be some disagreements among the Lions coaching staff about what happened during that loss to the Vikings. We all see also that and the other thing that I thought was weird with John Morton was John Gruden said that, man, this dude's nuts. He works his tail off. He stays up 20 hours a day. During the bye week, he never left the facility. He watched every single play. I mean, so when you put this kind of expectation on all of us fans of like, I watch every play, I never sleep, I'm blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, sweet, man. And then you come out with the game plan that you have, it's tough. It's tough to see because there doesn't seem to be the adjustments. There doesn't seem to be some of the main things that you're looking for in terms of, all right, let's go up tempo. When all else fails, let's pick up the pace a little bit. None of that. There needs to be a reverse, a double reverse. There needs to be literally something where against the Vikings, okay, they want to jump around and hop around. Put 4 wide receivers in a cluster over to the side. I'm not even an offensive coordinator. I can figure this one out. All right, Vikings, all that hopping around, you got to get out there. If you don't, we throw that screen out to Amon-Ra. Tesla's there. He's blocking. J-Mo can block like an animal. And Laporta. And then St. Brown, you catch it and do your thing. Or we'll put Jahmyr Gibbs out there. But instead, we're trying to run our offense like the Vikings aren't doing all this stuff to us. And they just dominated us. So again, let's take a look at this. There's this spot right here. The Lions are a good team, but okay, so it says we had some communication mishaps. This is what Dan Campbell said after week 1. Then on Sunday after the loss, he said, listen, we did not handle some of the communication well. The bottom line, we're better than that. We just need to do something. We need to have some communication errors. And then John Morton said, I think our communication's been really good since the Green Bay game. So which one is it? But there's some miscommunication on the field, and you can see it. Jared Goff has thrown some bad throws, but receiver has been out of place a little bit more than you like. The offensive line is giving up too many just blatant pressures. We didn't have last year, I'm just making a number up, but it was about, 3 plays a game where it was just like, well, that was a bust. I don't know what happened. That was just, I'm saying last year. This year, it seems like that's up to 10 plays a game that are just no good, complete broken plays. But Morton is right to the point. The Packers game look like a JV team that was playing together for the first time. The Lions haven't looked like that in a while. There are a few things to be fixed, and let's see what they're able to do. Same page Sunday to get those things going the right way. The sky's not falling, but you just wonder, how long do you stay with John Morton? Because, look, he was fired for literally what he's kind of doing right now. Like, that's why he was fired from the Jets. I believed in him only because Dan Campbell believed in him. That's why I originally believed in him, because I believe in Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell, if he believes in you, I believe in you. No, this is a situation where I need to see some of that creative play. And then one of the things about Ben Johnson, who we all just can't stand anymore, but the thing that he did, we all know the creativity, the trick plays and stuff like that, and that gets the headlines. But we know as Lions fans, when it was just kind of 2nd and 7, he had a creative, schemed up play to get a first down and move the sticks. I was like, that was a nice play. That's just a middle of the second quarter at midfield. He would do that. And you're like, that was good. The other thing that we would also do a lot was we would cross midfield and really take shots. That was the opportunity. We didn't want to. That's when you have the majority of the field still to work with, and you don't get condensed down in the red zone. Like, let's go for 7 points now. We don't do that. The other thing that is concerning is we have way too many really good players. I think so. When we don't play well offensively, it's like, man, is that Jahmyr Gibbs' fault? You're like, no. Is that Amon-Ra St. Brown? No. And we had that originally in 2021 where offense is not good. Goff's not been able to do his thing. And you could just say, at the end of the day, I mean, we can be mad at coaches and whatever. We just don't have the players. And that was an easy argument. We all just kind of lived with that. But now we have the players. So we have to put our offensive line in a better place. So everyone's like, you can look at the offensive line. I think what we're all saying is the way that we played offense against the Vikings, our offensive line had no chance. And that's coaching. That was like shotgun trying to just throw the ball in shotgun against the Vikings, who are bouncing all around, blitzing from every angle. It's like, our offensive line has no chance on this. We have to, what's the counter to that? We didn't have any counters. We didn't have any adjustments. So I'm really interested. I mean, at the end of the day, we're 5-3. We're fine, but there's some abrasiveness a little bit. There's this little bit of like, didn't really take any accountability in his press conference. Little things like that where you're like, what are we doing? There's the first time since Dan Campbell's been here, the coaching staff saying different things. Those are the things that are just strange and that we don't want to see that. Don't want to see that. But Dan Campbell, baby. I believe in Dan Campbell. He will get this straightened. He will not allow something like that to continue at the end of the day if something's not right, So we're fine. But our offense, and we've been spoiled, and we know our offense. We know what our offense is capable of too. And when it doesn't do it, it's like, all right, what are we doing? So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Need to know some thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.